Very, very happy with these. I've been loving it. This beautiful color. Also that this color would make a nice scarf. Hi there! Welcome back to the Embeemakes knitting channel. My name is Melissa and I'm the maker behind Embeemakes here on YouTube, on Ravelry and on Instagram. You can probably hear it in my voice, but I've been a bit sick the past few days, but since it's nice and sunny outside, I thought I would try and film a podcast episode because I have lots to talk about. I have some finished objects and some brand new cast-ons since last podcast episode, which is almost a month ago. So yeah, I am wearing my latest finished sweater again, which also was featured in last month's podcast. Then I had just finished it and hadn't really worn it yet. But now I've been wearing it for the past month and I've been loving it. This sweater, the Monday sweater by Petiteknit, is just the perfect cozy sweater to wear outside, inside, just everywhere to cozy up. And yeah, I also really love the yarn that I used for this, which is West Yorkshire Spinners Blue-Faced Leicester Fleece DK. And yeah, this color is absolutely stunning. It shines so nicely when the sun hits. Yeah, it's just a really nice color and I think it looks good on me. Now that I've worn it quite a lot already for the past month, I can also give you a little bit more info on how the sweater wears. This yarn is super soft, and of course I was expecting it to pill, which it did. I wore this for 2 whole days when we went to London in end of January. And yeah, it has slightly felted under the armpits also a little bit, but that's fine. You can't really see it. And yeah, it also has pilled around this area and at the sleeve, at the underarm, but I have just depilled it this morning so it looks nice again. Only took me about 5 to 10 minutes and it looks brand new now, so yeah, really can't complain about that. It's just super soft. I can just wear it next to skin, only wearing a top underneath this, and yeah, it's also still very warm. Yeah, absolutely loving this sweater. And yeah, there will definitely be more Monday sweaters in my future and also more sweaters in this yarn, which I will talk about more in the acquisitions part of this video. So yeah, I follow the standard podcast style with finished objects, whips and acquisitions. So let's first start with my finished objects. The first one though I can show you because I've gifted it to my best friend and it's her hipster hat, which I've shown in previous episodes. But I managed to finish it before February and gifted it to her when I saw her and had a nice dinner with her. I will pop in a picture here. I don't know if I have a good one. Maybe I will ask her to send me a good picture of it. So yeah, it's a basic hipster hat by Petiteknit, 2x2 rib, and I've knit already two before, one for me and one for my mom. And yeah, it's a nice pattern. It's great for gifting because yeah, the rib is quite stretchy, so it's great if you don't exactly know the head circumference of the person you're gifting it to. So yeah, that's my first finished object. The second finished object I do have here, and I hadn't cast it on last podcast yet. I have a pair of penny gloves. I did talk about casting these on in previous videos, and I thought this was the perfect project to take with me to London for some simple knitting on the train. Yeah, it was a good travel project, so I cast on the first one. Didn't entirely finish it when we returned, but then I finished them at home. And I've been wearing these already for the past 2 weeks. and they've been really nice and kept my hands very warm. They are knit with a strand of fingering weight sock yarn by Olivia and Oliver Fibers, which is the beautiful variegation you can see, and I held it together with a strand of mohair. I think I used some thin silk mohair that I had in stash, just a single skein, and it matched pretty well with the fingering weight that I had. I'll put these on. I haven't blocked them yet. I don't think it's necessary to block these. I just started wearing them because I really needed some fingerless mittens to wear in the morning on my way to work. Yeah, they're nice to just put in my purse, and I have them with me. They don't take up a lot of space. Yeah, really happy with them. And then another finished object that I'm so happy that's finished finally is this sock. I had finished the first one already in the summer, I think August or July even. This is the Disco Jellyfish socks by Stoneknits. And so yeah, I had this first one finished for a while, and now I finally managed to finish the second one as well. So now I can wear the full pair. The beautiful colors are the main color, the blue, is from Ginger and Thyme, which is a hand-dyed sock yarn. Don't remember the name of the color exactly, but sadly she isn't dyeing yarns anymore. But I do have quite a lot of her yarn still in stash, which I will use, of course. And then the contrast color, the pink, is from Artemis Yarns and it's also their sock yarn. And I don't remember the name of the color. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with these. And yeah, excited to wear them. I just finished the second one on Valentine's Day last week. So yeah, these will be my Valentine jellyfish socks from now on. And with those socks finally off the needles, I can start the second one off. This pair of socks, my Tiptoe Through the Tulip socks, also by Stoneknits. I am trying to finish some of my socks this winter. I have a lot of single socks which need a second one. So yeah, those will probably be featured in my next podcast episode. Okay, those were all my finished objects. Now let's go into my whips. The first one is one that I cast on when I had just finished my best friend's hipster hat. And it's a little scarf, or it will be a larger scarf. This really is a dopamine cast on. I had shown this yarn in a previous podcast episode. And yeah, it was just laying here and I felt the need for some bright springy colors on my needles. And so I cast this on. This is the Waffle loop scarf by Otherloops. I've been wanting to knit the Waffle loop cardigan. But yeah, I already have a cardigan on my needles that I haven't even worked on the past month, so I won't show you. But yeah, I also saw that she has a scarf in the same stitch pattern, and I thought it would be nice for the two skeins of Olivia and Oliver Fibers DK yarn that I had. And I thought also that this color would make a nice scarf. So yeah, this is what I have so far. Not a lot, but it's nice to, yeah, as it's still pretty small, I can easily take this on the train with me to work as my commute project. And yeah, it's a really nice fabric that it creates, really squishy. So yeah, this is kind of like Sophie scarf. You increase until you're halfway and then you decrease on the other side. Although I do believe that with this pattern, at some point you stop increasing and knit straight for a bit. But I'll see how far I get with my one skein. If I hit the point where you stop decreasing first. if I hit the point where I stop increasing before I run out of my first skein of yarn, I will just then knit straight for a bit, or otherwise I will just stop at the widest point and start decreasing with my second skein. Yeah, it's a lovely stitch pattern and easy to memorize once it's established. I did make a mistake somewhere here for a bit. You can't really tell, but yeah, it's okay now again. I fixed it. That's one of my dopamine cast-ons from this past few weeks, and another one is a pretty spontaneous cast-on. I hadn't planned for it on my Make 9 or in my winter plans, but I just saw the swatch on my swatch board and I kept looking at it and wanting to knit something with that yarn combination. And again, it's a bright spring color. I will show you my swatch. So this is the swatch. It's this lovely mint green. And I've had this swatch for probably already 2 years, and it's made with this woolly knit cone that I've had in stash. It's their British yarn, and I'm holding it together with a strand of Lang Yarns alpaca. Alpaca super light. That's kind of a mohair, but with alpaca. And it's super soft. It's really not itchy to me. So I'm holding these two together to create this swatch. And so I went to look for a pattern that was DK weight. I really wanted to try and knit something with saddle shoulders that really had like very visible saddle part. And I wanted to have a round neck preferably. So I did a poll on my Instagram to see what other people thought I should knit with this yarn. And when I was searching for patterns, I suddenly found a pattern again in my saved posts on Instagram, which was the Courage Henley by Tori. I also had her Skyline sweater in my shortlist to knit with this yarn, but when I found the Courage Henley again, the picture, I thought, wow, yes, that would look amazing with that yarn. That's really something I would wear, something very springy. If I want to have the buttons undone, I kind of have a little bit of a V-neck and I can just close them to have more of a round neck. So yeah, I really wanted to knit that one, even though more people voted for another sweater. But yeah, I was feeling that one, and so I bought the pattern and I cast on. It's only been a week or just under a week even, and I can already show you what I have. So this is the beginning. Well, I should hold it the other way around. This is the beginning of the back panel. The construction is really nice. You start with one of the saddle shoulders, which is just a rectangle that you knit. You knit another one, and then for the back you pick up stitches and cast on new stitches. So it's kind of a drop shoulder construction, but you first do some shoulder panels. I just finished the short rows and have already knit a bit of length for the back panel. And then afterwards you pick up for the fronts either side and connect them at some point below the button placket side. So yeah, a very fun construction, very potato chippy, as you have to knit some smaller parts. This was also kind of my gauge swatch because I knit this 2 years ago, and I don't remember what needle size exactly I used, and probably I used my wooden needles, but for this I wanted to use my metal needles since it glides better with the fluffy yarn. So yeah, I am using the recommended needle size, I believe. So I'm knitting these on my 4mm metal needles. And yeah, I got gauge. I already steam blocked these saddle parts so they lay a bit nicer and it was easier for me to pick up the stitches. Yeah, I think it's a lovely color, great fabric, super soft. It looks a bit different on camera. You can see the variegation more than in real life, I think. Because those two strands aren't an exact match. Yeah, you can really tell on camera this is darker and this is brighter. But yeah, together they just create a beautiful fabric. I'm knitting the size 4, which should give me a nice amount of ease, not too much. And yeah, of course, then at some point I also have to find some buttons. I'm not sure yet if I will go with something high or low contrast to this fabric. But we'll see that later. And then the last project I have an update on for you is my Lumme pullover by Sari Nordlund. I don't exactly remember where I was last time, but I've done a bit more of the yoke now. I think I was maybe just past the first. But now I am halfway down the big flower. Yeah, my needles aren't long enough to really fully stretch it. But you can see it's looking really nice. Really looking forward to wearing this for Christmas. I know it's a bit early maybe to talk about that, but yeah, it will be such an amazing Christmas sweater. And yeah, I think once I'm past the colorwork for the yoke and I can just knit stockinette in the round for the body and the sleeves, this will fly a lot faster because now I really have to sit down with the 2 balls of yarn and the chart to knit this colorwork. But it's really nice, and yeah, the fabric again, I'm using the Rerum Natura Gilead, which is also a yarn that I really love. And yeah, I think these colors work really nice together. So those were all the projects that I had an update on for you. I do have a lot more whips than these few, but yeah, I've not been working on those, so I won't talk about them in this episode. Maybe next time I do pick up another hibernating project again and then I will talk about it again. But for now, that's it. I do have quite a few acquisitions from when I went to London, and then a few weeks later my mom and sister also went to London and bought me some more yarn. So yeah, I will share those now with you. So the first yarn store we visited in London in January was McCulloch and Wallis. I hadn't been there before, but I found them just on the internet, and I saw that they had that they sold also the West Yorkshire Spinner fleece yarn, and I saw this store was located quite at the center of London near the main shopping street. So yeah, we went to have a look, and I bought some more of this yarn. I have 2 skeins in this natural white color, and this is the color Écru. I'm not entirely sure what I will make with these, maybe a scarf or do some color work, because I also have these 2 colors. one skein of each. The blue is Quarry and the purple is Bramble. It's a beautiful, beautiful purple color. And this is more of a light jeans blue. So yeah, I got these 4 skeins for winter accessories or color work. And then 2 weeks later, my mom and sister also went to that store because one of the colors that I really wanted to get wasn't in stock when I was there, so they went back for me. And when it was restocked, and they got me the yarn, and it's this beautiful color. This is called Berry, again in the same yarn base. And I have 6 skeins in total of this to make a zipper sweater light by Petiteknit. Or at least that's what I'm planning to make with it right now. I don't know when I will cast this on. But yeah, it's such a gorgeous color. I think it will be really nice for fall and winter. And then my mom also bought 1 skein in this color, which is the color Brook. A really nice turquoise blue, which I think also suits me pretty well. But she picked this out for herself and asked me to knit her another hipster hat with this. Because I told her, yeah, 1 skein of this DK weight yarn would be enough for a hat. So yeah, she requested another hipster hat. We were in the neighborhood of Angel, which is close to Loop London, and I popped in again to see which yarns they had. They have mostly hand-dyed yarns, but they also stock John Arbon textiles. And so I got this beautiful burgundy purple in their knit by numbers DK. And yeah, it doesn't really have a color name. This is the label. And I have 5 skeins of this for another sweater or cardigan maybe. And then I also got 3 skeins of this beautiful green color. Also the same, the Knit by Numbers DK by John Arbon Textiles. And it's a gorgeous light green pistachio. It's lighter than this color. And I think it will suit me nicely. And I have 3 skeins of this to make a just simple stockinette slip over. I think it would be really fun for spring. I'm not sure if I will get to it this spring, but yeah. It's again a really soft yarn. Feels really similar to the West Yorkshire Spinners one. This also has blue-faced Leicester. This is a 50% blue-faced Leicester and 50% Falklands Merino yarn blend. Whereas this one is 100% BFL, I think. But yeah, a very similar weight yarn, so you can knit the same things with it. So that's it for this podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments below what you're working on while watching this. I always like to know. And I wish you happy knitting. Bye!